Hello friends, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Becky if you're new. Josh is here, my husband.
Hello.
Welcome. Today we are going to be cooking up strawberry shortcake and fresh strawberries sliced up with some fresh whipped cream. Now, when I decided to do this a couple days ago, I was only going to make one shortcake recipe, which is just going to be your standard shortcake recipe with all-purpose flour. But if you are new, if you've been here a while, you know, I got a grain mill. It's actually almost been, I think, like 9 months or something since I got this grain mill.
Seems like longer.
It's been a while, and I have yet to make a good freshly milled biscuit. I've only tried it once, and they weren't very good. And when I was getting ready to do this live like an hour ago, I was listening to Sue Becker. If you are new to like freshly milled grains, she is a pioneer when it comes to that, and been teaching about freshly milled grains. And so I thought last minute, hey, let's try making a fresh milled flour shortcake as well. So we're gonna make two. So the first one, but the thing when you're working with freshly milled flour is it has to sit for a while and absorb liquid before you put it in the oven. So right before I got started, I milled up my wheat. And another trick I learned from Sue Becker is that when you're making biscuits with fresh milled flour, when it comes out of your mill, it's actually kind of warm. And when you're making biscuits, you want to work with cold ingredients. So I milled my flour. I put baking powder, baking soda, sugar, salt in here with some cornstarch. And I'm going to cut in my butter. And then this next recipe we'll make together from start to finish. But what I did is I want to get all my dry ingredients mixed together, and then I threw this in the fridge for about a half an hour so that the flour could actually chill a little bit before we make our biscuits. And then in here I have milk and some lemon juice. I can link this. This is just a biscuit recipe. The recipes that I have found to turn out the best out of the recipes I've tried have been from Grains in Small Places. I've talked about her cookbook lots of times, but Josh has this recipe linked down below for you. And I guess I'm not even following it exactly because she calls for an eighth of a cup of sugar. And I put 2/3 of a cup of sugar in here because we're not making savory biscuits, we're making sweet biscuits to go with some fresh local strawberries.
Now, when you had me do the recipe, you said 1/3 cup.
No, that's for the
Non-grilled?
That's for the white flour recipe.
Okay, did I say non-grilled?
Yeah, you did.
What?
I don't know what that means.
Non-milled.
Non-milled, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not grilled technically. So.
No, it's not going to be. These are not going to be grilled biscuits. I do have my ovens preheated to 425. So this was just a little last minute audible thing. I thought, hey, why don't we try to adapt a recipe and make a fresh milled biscuit together live? It might turn out, it might not. I don't know. So I have cold butter in here. I'm just going to cut this together in here like this. We will have a couple spots. And Josh, you're welcome to interrupt me at any point. If you guys have questions, I don't mind being interrupted. I can usually remember what I was talking about, and we can answer questions. Josh and I have some exciting updates to share with you today. We might start talking about those a little bit later because I want to get this butter cut in. I want to get my milk in here, get this back in the fridge to chill while we start this recipe. And this one we're going to make from start to finish together.
Yep, and I am monitoring for questions. I've seen a couple about bees and other stuff, so I will definitely answer those at some point here. I'm trying to keep a log of them. We also have people that are saying that the stream cut out, but I'm fairly confident that it didn't, so we're just going to pretend everything's good. Because they can't hear this if it is out, you know?
That's true. So. And Josh, if you see a question and you want to interrupt me sooner, you can. That's totally fine. I don't mind at all. So the kind of wheat I have in here is soft white wheat, and that is a wheat that has a little less gluten in it, and I think to make it even lighter, this recipe called for adding some cornstarch. So this is the consistency we have. There's a couple bigger size pieces of butter, but nothing bigger than the size of a pea. There's some smaller pieces of butter. And I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to call that good. So if we have extra shortbread, that'll be fine. We can eat these for breakfast. Josh and I went to the farmer's market yesterday and picked up locally grown strawberries that we're gonna prep in a little bit. They're my favorite strawberries. I don't buy a lot of fruit, especially berries, outside of this season because we are so spoiled living where we live. We have like a 3-week season of the best strawberries ever. They're called Hoods, and I love them so much.
They're very tasty.
It's very hard for me to buy strawberries out of season when they're so expensive and they don't taste like what I expect a strawberry to taste like. So we will be enjoying these strawberries every single day while they're in season. So I just put my milk mixture in there, and I like to use a fork when I mix my biscuits because I'm not getting my hand in there and warming up the butter.
Do you think they would turn out okay with gluten-free flour?
I have no idea. I am not sure.
We have not tested that.
I have not. I don't do really much gluten-free baking because everyone in my family can tolerate gluten. My mom used to do a lot of it. I bet my mom has made gluten-free biscuits before because some of my family members used to have to be gluten-free. So this, almost all that flour is mixed in. What we need to do now is put this in the fridge, and we're gonna let this sit for about 15 minutes. It says you can even let it sit overnight.
We had someone ask if you could do it without milled flour, and I think that's what you're about to do.
That's what I'm about to do right here.
Yep, doing both of them.
Yep, we're doing 2 recipes today. So I know not everyone has a mill.
And the milled flour version we haven't successfully done that yet, so why
So
not
it's an
do it
experiment.
live? Might as well do it live, right?
Yeah. I didn't tell Josh I was doing that.
That's fun. I love the fresh milled stuff. It tastes so good.
Okay, so here we go. Now we're gonna just make strawberry shortcake the old-fashioned way with white all-purpose flour. So in here, if you are new to making shortcakes, it's basically just a sweet biscuit. So we're gonna start with 2 cups of flour, except the only thing is, I guess I just said that, a sweet biscuit, is it has more sugar in it than a traditional savory biscuit. So the first thing I should have done was measure out my liquid ingredients, which is 3/4 cup of half and half. And I guess half and half isn't something that is sold everywhere in the world. Here in the US, half and half is just half cream, half milk. So if you ever see half and half in a recipe, you can just substitute half cream, half milk for that quantity. Now I'm gonna add some lemon juice to that to acidify it. That's gonna do its thing while we mix up our dry ingredients. So to our flour and our sugar, we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of baking powder.
Did you post a video of the bald eagle?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Someone said that they liked our bald eagle.
Yeah.
Or loved the eagle, by the way. So.
And I got a couple of questions that, like, do we not see those ever? And we see them down, we live close to a river. And so when we're close to there's a big river that divides Oregon and Washington called the Columbia. So if we're ever around that area, we will see bald eagles. But we've never seen them up by our house before.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
He was big. It's
Yeah.
hard to really capture that, though, when he's so far away. But
Yeah.
he was huge.
I was cleaning up. I did a bunch of cooking yesterday. This is baking soda. So this recipe has both baking powder and baking soda in it. Then I'm going to add salt. We did a bunch of, I did a bunch of recipes that are you're all going to see them, that are takeout recipes. They're things that we would normally order if we get takeout. Yesterday, my kitchen was pretty messy, so I was cleaning that up, and Josh is like, there's a bald eagle. So I ran outside and got to see the bald eagle, which was pretty cool.
Becky loves bald eagles.
You know, when I've lived in the same area my entire life. I grew up crossing the Glen Jackson Bridge, which is the bridge that separates Oregon and Washington. Multiple times a week I would cross that bridge. Never saw bald eagles until I was in college. And then maybe in college, maybe later. Maybe it was when Josh and I started dating, because I lived in Oregon when Josh and I started dating, and he was in Washington, so I would cross that bridge all the time. That's 1/2 cup of butter, or 1 stick of butter, and I'm gonna cut this in with my pastry knife. And there was a pair of bald eagles there's an island, so when you go across the Glen Jackson Bridge, it goes over the Columbia River, and there's this big island in the middle that
I think
you
it's
cross.
called like Government Island or something.
Something like that.
It's an uninhabited, mostly uninhabited.
Well, there's no houses on it, I don't think, but there's
like a
cattle
farm.
on it. Somebody owns it. It's a private land, I think. But I started seeing this pair of bald eagles, and because I never saw them growing up, I thought they were cool. So whenever I see a bald eagle, I spot it. I like point it out, and Josh is like convinced the bald eagle is my favorite bird, just because I always am
You
like,
always
bald
point it
eagle!
out. I'm mostly just memeing on you, but
Yeah.
it is funny. You'll stop if Becky's driving the car and a bald eagle passes
Ooh.
overhead. You'll stop.
That was an incredible. Okay, so we were driving home the other day, and this was up by our house, which again, this was like 3 weeks ago. A bald eagle. Josh is like, oh, look, there's a bald eagle. You pointed that bald eagle out,
yeah,
not me.
I didn't know the consequences of that.
Yeah. And we live, in the country, so we're like on country roads, and people have big fields with cows and stuff. And this bald eagle swooped down and got like a bunny or a rodent
Something.
of some kind, snake, I don't know. And I slowed my car down so I could watch the bald eagle. Like,
I struggle from social anxiety, so the
Yeah.
people. I was
The
just thinking
people-
about the people behind us.
and I was telling Josh, they're probably watching the bald eagle too.
Don't worry, people are really worried about little dog.
Yes, we are very aware
There's not a whole lot that we can do other than keep an eye on him, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of big birds over the house, so
Yeah.
there's a non-zero chance that could happen. But we keep an eye on him like a hawk
Yeah.
ourselves. So
Yeah, we have owls, and so we are very aware of that. Okay, so this is what the all-purpose flour biscuit mix looks like. Pretty sure I have everything in there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pour almost all of my liquid ingredients in here. I'm gonna get another fork.
someone was asking what the ratio of soap to water is that you use on the tomato spray.
Oh, it was just a couple glug, 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 maybe like very scientific. Probably like 2 or 3 tablespoons in a spray bottle.
Did that work?
Yeah, yeah, the tomatoes are looking good.
So I guess you don't need that much. You don't need that much
No.
soap.
No. Yeah, I've never had, oh gosh, what were they called? What did I tell you they were called? The little black bugs? Did you even see the little black bugs on my
You said
tomato
it's
plants?
like something beetle, like I thought
I can't remember what they're, flea beetle.
flea beetle.
They're
Yeah.
gross because they would jump like a flea. So I just put all that milk in there because I think I needed it. Biscuits are like, when you're working with pastry, like pie crust, you want to use as little liquid as possible. So that looks really good. Kind of got like a shaggy dough there. So this does not need to rest like the fresh milled one. That's why I wanted to get that fresh milled one kind of started. So how about Josh, put a poll? Or you guys don't have to put a poll.
I can try and create a poll here.
I
haven't
was,
done that very often.
if you saw a bald eagle, soaring down to catch something, would you have slowed down?
Soaring down to catch something. Would you stop in traffic?
I didn't stop. I did not stop. And we were coming up to a stop sign too. There was a stop sign up there.
It was several hundred feet. Yeah, it was there. It was a cautious stop. Yes.
Yeah, I was being very cautious. It wasn't like I slammed on my brakes or anything. I just slowed down.
We'll have the poll. I think probably most people will say yes. It is cool. I have a lot of anxiety with that sort of thing. I'm always worried about being in the way.
Yes, yes.
Or causing someone to be inconvenienced in any way. That's kind of, we're at 96% yes. So.
Yeah. See, that's what I was telling him. I was like, don't worry about it. The people behind us probably are doing the same thing if they noticed it.
If they notice it, they might.
Yeah.
My fear is that they wouldn't notice it and they just be like, what's this lady doing?
Okay, so here's my biscuits, or my shortcake, which is basically biscuits. Now I just flatten it with my hands. You can actually see, I'm going to bring this up to you. Can you see those big chunks of butter in there? That's what we want to see.
Looks good.
One of my best friends growing up, she was out at my house all the time. And my mom always had a rule, like there was no rule who could cook in our kitchen, and you could use any ingredient you wanted. Very rarely was something off limits. You know, if she had something specific for like a vacation or a specific recipe, we couldn't use it. But most of the time, the kitchen was free to cook. And so one of my friends, she would come over, and she loves shortcake, strawberry shortcake. So she would come over and make strawberry shortcake at my house all the time.
Nice.
Yeah, it was Rachel.
Nice.
Okay, so I don't know if you noticed it, but I was folding this shortcake dough onto itself. I did it about 3 times, because what we're doing there is we're trying to laminate this biscuit dough or shortbread dough. You don't even need to use a rolling pin. You could pull a rolling pin out if you wanted. Flatten it a little bit. What size do you want for these, Josh?
I think similar to what you made earlier. What is that, like 2-inch?
This size?
Yeah.
Okay.
2-inch diameter, roughly, probably.
Okay. And I like a little bit thicker one because I like to be able to break them up open and have not like a pancake size where on like when I break them apart, I like each side to have some height to it, but you can make them as thick or as thin as you want.
To clarify, people that are saying that she stopped on the highway, she did not stop on the highway.
It wasn't a highway.
It was a country road. Now,
Yeah.
Becky's a cautious driver, so we had accrued a small number of cars behind us, but it was still just a 2-lane country road. It wasn't like the Glen Jackson Bridge or something.
No. Yeah.
I'm just going to end the poll. I think I'm outnumbered here. 87% say they would have stopped, and that's with...
And I didn't stop. I slowed down.
I don't know. I'm going to plead the fifth on this. We got 645 votes, though,
Oh, wow,
so
okay.
I'm definitely outnumbered here.
So I'm not like kneading this back together. I'm just kind of pushing it back together because you want to try to form as little gluten as possible. And that last little bit, I don't think I'm going to worry about. So here we got 2, 4, 6, 7. Normally when I make biscuits, I make little smaller ones. Josh, I'm going to wash my hands, so if you want to mute me and maybe find a question or
Sure.
do some talking.
Let me mute you. So I was going to talk about the bees. Might as well talk about the bees a little bit. They are doing really, really well. I think we filmed an update video. I don't know if that's out yet, though.
No, it's going to be out in a little bit.
I don't know. When I film, it's haphazard. It's probably pretty jarring for all of you watching, but I'm trying to contribute a little bit. Let me unmute you.
Yeah, Josh is actually doing some filming, and we can talk a little bit more about that, why he's actually, and he came in yesterday, he's like, this is kind of hard.
It's daunting, frankly. But I did film a little update on the bees, which will come out soon. We have one of the hives is doing much better than the other, and that one already has a honey super on it. And they've kind of been crawling up in there and doing stuff. So I haven't opened it up to see how far they've worked on it, but I do see a lot of bees up there. The second hive is still working on the original frames, so I'm not really sure. Maybe they'll catch up later in the summer. Maybe they will never catch up. But the other project I've been working on is the chicken coop, which we were trying to buy one, or not buy one. I'm trying to like work with a company to have them build one because it's a big project. And Becky has all these grand ideas of how it should look. And I'm, I would say, a novice builder. So my confidence on how well I could execute one of these really nice, beautiful chicken coops is pretty low, but I do have a pretty good idea of what I'm doing.
So Josh decided to build it.
I'm gonna build it.
Yes, that's the
other thing that I've been filming somewhat, and it's awkward, and
you're doing a good job.
it is challenging because as we've already covered in this video, I fear judgment of others. so trying to then build kind of off of plans I've put together myself is a challenge because I fear all the judgments. But I think it's going to turn out well, and we're like 5% done with that at this point.
I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to turn out really well. Now, one thing about Josh that I appreciate is that he, I guess probably because he fears judgment, is that he takes his time and makes sure it looks really nice. And if he doesn't do it right the first time, he is willing to take it apart and redo it. And so it will be nice.
It will be nice. I just got the footing cemented though, which is something that's hard to do and then redo. So that one took some time and effort to get right.
Yeah, because you don't want to do that twice.
I've never done it before, so good learning experience.
So this is now rested in the fridge. One thing that I've learned with a lot of fresh milled flour recipes is that they really do require time to hydrate the flour, because that's what we were doing. We weren't necessarily needing to chill the butter again. Josh, can you set a timer for 11 minutes? I'm gonna turn that light on so I can see.
Siri set a timer for 11 minutes?
Because the wheat berries, those are wheat berries up there, they have all of the bran and germ left, which is where the fiber is in the wheat. So there's no real fiber in all-purpose flour. But because of that, it does benefit from hydration time. So that's what we did. Now this recipe I probably should have cut it in half because it's about twice as big as my recipe. So here I'm going to do the same thing. I'm laminating. So I just took half the dough. I'm going to put it on here. You can do this with a pastry knife. You can fold it over. You can kind of do it however. Do it one more time. And now I'm going to flatten this. I just thought it would be fun to see how these turn out, even though I'm not technically following the recipe, and the fact that I added about 4 times as much sugar as the original recipe. So because I added 4 times the amount of sugar as the original recipe, let me check this real quick. I did turn the oven down. The recipe says to cook these at 450 degrees, but there's a lot more sugar in this, so I don't want the bottoms to burn before the inside's cooked, so I turned it down to 425 degrees. Okay, so that looks good. I'm gonna make these the same size as the other ones.
People have asked if we have the chicks, and yes, we do have the chicks.
Yeah, so that was another update. They showed up Tuesday. So I got the email that they were shipped on Monday, and Tuesday afternoon I got a call from my post office saying, your chicks are here. So I went to the post office and they were closed for lunch. So I came back home and then I went back to the post office and picked them up. And
you've got like one of every kind of chicken, I think.
Yes. Someone asked me on Instagram, what kind of chickens did I get? And I got 14 different chickens. So I got a bunch of just all different kinds.
And we got a mystery chicken too, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, so the hatchery that I bought my chickens from, and I think they do this, I don't know.
What is the purpose? I still have not.
This is you can check a box if you want a free chicken, but you don't know the sex of the chicken. My guess is that they probably always have more male chickens.
Oh.
So it's a good way to
just get rid of some?
Yeah. And we've never had a rooster, so
I'm not sure if I want one.
If we get a rooster, I'm assuming it's probably a rooster.
It probably will be. Yeah.
We could rehome it if we need to.
The best
but
part
sometimes
is
roosters are really nice. I've heard some people have really good experiences, and then obviously some really bad experiences.
I think they're just loud, and it's the coop's right outside of our our room. So
yeah, it is true.
The best part is we can't really tell which bird is which one because they kind of all, well, not all. There's like 4 or 5 different looks, but 14 different breeds. So it's not like we can just identify which one is the odd one out. They're kind of all odd ones out. So
we'll know what the breeds are once they are grown. They'll look different. But it's crazy because we haven't had chicks in 5 years. I feel like when people have chickens, usually they get new chicks like every year. And I have resisted getting chicks for 5 years. So I'm going to wash my hands again.
Probably wouldn't be the worst idea to do it more frequently, get chickens more frequently, rather than just kind of letting them age out.
But we didn't have a coop that was very functional. So
Yeah. I'm going to unmute you. Okay.
I said we didn't have a coop that was very functional, and
We didn't want to add more chickens to the equation.
yeah.
And also, I struggle with them dying.
Yeah.
We actually
It's
had
hard.
one pass this week, or 2 days ago even.
Yeah. Just
It's
from
really
old
tough.
age.
Yeah, they're getting to that age where, yeah, that just old age is going to kick in. And
Yep.
it's hard, especially when you raise them from little chicks. And we got chicks like that day.
It's true.
And so I'm like looking at the future. I'm like, this is going to be 14 chicks that I have to
Be
say
sad
goodbye
when
to.
they pass. Yeah. Yeah, I think the average lifespan of a chicken is like 5 to 7 years. And they are 5.5 now, so.
Someone said to hold the chick upside down, a boy will chill and a girl will flap and lean upwards.
Oh,
Interesting.
yeah, I'll have to watch a video and figure out how to do that because I'm sure there's a way. I mean, obviously at
dip
the
them-
hatcheries, they know how to sex them. I don't know how they do that. So I just egg wash these. These are going into a 425 degree oven. Josh, can you set, oh, those first biscuits look great. Can you set a timer for 10 minutes or 12 minutes?
Siri set a timer for 11 minutes.
I'm gonna
Okay,
get
the
this
other
out
ones
of the
have
way.
5 minutes left.
So the next videos you guys are going to be seeing coming out are going to be all about, we're going to go shopping for all the brooder stuff because I had to get a whole setup. And then we're going to be going over Josh deciding to build the coop and the layout and where we're going to put it. Because the biggest thing I want is I want it to be obviously like a safe, clean environment for them. So I want easy, clean, like a coop that I can easily keep nice and clean and they can be safe from predators. We don't really have a big predator problem here because we have neighbors with livestock guardian dogs that prowl our property all night long. So that's been nice.
Yeah, we've not had any issues yet.
But obviously we can't assume that our neighbors' dogs will always protect our chickens.
Nope.
Yeah, we've never lost a chicken to predators, which has been nice. So these are the hood berries. Let me show you something amazing about these strawberries. When you cut them, look at that. This is why I have a hard time with store-bought strawberries because they're red all the way through versus, you know, most store-bought strawberries are kind of white on the inside.
They're so good. They're so juicy and sweet.
Yep, I will eat probably a pint every night for dessert for the next 2 weeks or so while they're in season. I just will eat them. I'll wash them and eat them, and they're so good. And so I'm going to get these prepped for our shortcakes when they come out of the oven.
Yeah, for those of you getting a black screen randomly, I don't know what this is. So, but I've
weird.
seen enough people say it that it must be a recurring thing for some. So
Uh-oh.
I would just refresh the page.
Sorry
It
about
must
that.
be a YouTube bug. I'm guessing it's probably corresponding with ads or something, but I would just refresh if you can, or go out and in if you're on the TV, just go back and rejoin. Seems to be working for others. All right, questions.
Yeah.
Melissa, this is from a long time ago, so hopefully she's still watching, but she said this is her first year growing anything, so she's trying tomatoes. Do you have to help pollinate them?
You can. The way that I see most people doing it is they take an electric toothbrush. You can just go out there and like shake them.
Do you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never used the toothbrush, but I just watched a reel on it, and I've seen people do that for years. And I was thinking I might go to the Dollar Tree and go get they're probably $5 now at the Dollar Tree, a cheapo electric toothbrush to take out there, and you just turn it on and set it on top of, like, there's a little branch that comes out and the flowers are on the bottom, so you just set it at the top. But you can also just go out there and kind of shake them. I probably don't do it to see, that one doesn't look very good.
Another question is, what have you canned but won't can again? We kind of covered this before, but just like all the stuff that we've canned that we never really intended to eat or didn't think we can because it's like other people have canned it. It seems like a good thing to can, but we don't really eat it.
I'm probably never going to can green beans or corn again because I like frozen corn and I like store-bought frozen green beans. I cannot get frozen green beans to be a texture I like when I thaw them. If I do it myself, I've done it so many ways. I've blanched them, I've not blanched them, I've flash freeze them, and meat is not my favorite either. I will always keep beans and broth on my pantry shelf, and I've canned meat and it tastes good, but I don't
think I like the idea of it.
I don't gravitate to use it, and so it just sits down there and it stares at me when I go down there, and then I feel bad that I'm not using it. And so I don't think I will can chicken or beef again. My mother-in-law cans meals in a jar, and they're so good. We go over there and she'll open them up and she'll, turn a chicken pot pie filling into a chicken pot pie, and it's delicious. But I just like to cook things fresh, so I'm more of a ingredient canner than a meal canner.
A final product canner.
Yeah.
Okay, first timer is done. Do you want me to look?
Yeah, it's the top one. Those bottom ones look like they're spreading a little bit.
They do. Are those are the fresh?
I should have followed the recipe.
These look pretty good, maybe a little longer.
Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna give them. Let's give them a couple more minutes. Yeah. They're browning up, but they're not quite done in the center.
Should I show the other ones? How
no.
They're puddling or no?
Man, they are puddling, aren't they? Well, they'll see when they come out of the oven, because at some point we're going to take them out of the oven.
Okay. I guess not reframing is probably good.
Shoot. Follow the recipe the way it's written the first time.
What did you change about it?
I added 2/3 cup of sugar.
Oh.
And the recipe called for 1/8 of a cup of sugar.
Well, you did add some sugar to your other biscuit recipe, and that worked, so
yeah,
it stood to reason that it could work again.
I know, but fresh milled is such a different, it's not like cooking with all-purpose flour. And that's why I've had that mill for so long, and there's some things I'm super comfortable with, like I probably won't ever make pancakes or waffles or muffins for my family with white all-purpose flour because they're so good with fresh milled flour. But biscuits I have not gotten the hang of yet. And I've even made a couple yeasted bread recipes that are really good with fresh milled. But it's definitely a skill that takes time to develop, just like anything. Just like learning to cook with all-purpose flour too.
So you mentioned the strawberries were like hood strawberries. Mm-hmm. I think I've always just called them like Oregon strawberries or something, Oregon berries.
Well, you can't.
Is there like a brand name or?
Yes, it's the variety name.
Is the variety as Hood?
Is Hood.
Is
like
Hood?
Mount Hood. Yeah.
Are they grown near Hood? It's just a variety, so it doesn't really matter.
It's just a variety. Yeah. If you go to the farmer's market they are growing. You can talk to the farmers and they'll have a bunch of different varieties. We actually didn't buy these at the farmer's market. We bought them in a stand on the way to the farmer's market because we were driving and his sign said hood berries. And so I had Josh pull, oh, I was driving. So I pulled off and he only took cash, which we didn't have. And we were already heading to the farmer's market. So we said, we'll get cash and we'll come back. And then we went to the farmer's market. And I did ask a couple other farmers if they had this type of strawberry, and they didn't. So we got cash out and we went back to the guy and picked these up because they're the best, I think.
Have you ever tried using the tops, the strawberry tops, in a tea?
No, but that sounds really good.
Someone said it's really good.
I made strawberry vinegar once out of the tops. I
remember that.
Yep, that was pretty good. Normally what I do with these is, I know that some people will make like strawberry lemonade, concentrate and stuff like that. These just go to my chickens and they go crazy for them. So that's what I do with them. And I'm gonna get a ton of them next week. I'm gonna make some jam. I have to make canned strawberry jam and freezer jam. We like both. And so I'm going to buy a bunch more of them. I asked the guy, how long are you going to be here? And he said he'll be there for 1 more week. So probably on like Monday, I think I'll probably
I'm excited for that. That's the best thing. I think of the things you can, that's my favorite. But also the freezer preserves or whatever.
The freezer jam is so good too.
You just did that for the first time this year. Well, at least with me.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely a fan. With a PB&J, those are
oh my gosh, so good.
So good. Someone asked me, or Lynn asked, what my favorite meal is that I absolutely love that Becky hasn't made in a long time. And I think as far as things that you haven't made in a long time, what I really do like is like the summer hash.
Oh yeah.
Or not the summer hash, it's like sausage, tomatoes, cheese, zucchini.
I made it for you guys once. It's the pineapple sausages from Costco.
Oh,
yeah. You put those in a skillet and you kind of, not fry them, but you brown them on all sides. And then I just made this up when I had a ton of zucchini and tomatoes, and it's one of our favorite meals, but I only make it.
It's got to be like harvest time,
yeah.
like we get tomatoes, because it's just such fresh
so
produce.
So I saute up the sausage, and then sometimes I put an onion, sometimes I don't. And then I cube up zucchini, and I toss that around for just like a minute in the skillet. And then I cut a ton of fresh tomatoes. So at the bottom of my skillet, I have the sausage, the onion, the zucchini, and then I put a ton of diced tomatoes on the top. And then I cover that in cheese, and then I stick it in the broiler, and the zucchini and the tomatoes kind of make a sauce. And then we serve that over rice.
It's really good. The leftovers too. I have fond memories bringing that to work and stuff for lunch. So it's just so fulfilling.
I haven't made that since last summer. So hopefully, probably, you know what? When I was out there yesterday, I saw some baby zucchinis.
Oh.
Female zucchinis that hadn't opened their flowers yet. So probably in a couple weeks, we'll be able to make that.
Nice.
Probably two weeks. I might have some, hopefully by then I'll have some cherry tomatoes too.
Okay, the other timer is finished.
Okay.
And also that was way over 2 minutes on these biscuits.
I did just check them.
You did? Okay. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Those are great.
Yeah. I think those are done.
Someone asked if we would ever raise chickens for meat birds, and I'm going to answer that. Becky has considered it. I don't want to do that. I think I can't do it.
Josh would be the one probably to
Have to dispatch them and
yeah.
do all, and I
would do the like cleaning of them. I did that last summer. Taking the guts out and processing them.
I guess I would do it once or twice and then I become callous to it. But is that a good thing?
No, you don't. I don't think you do become callous to it, because I was talking to the husband of the family that I went and helped last summer, and he said it's very hard. I just put like a tablespoon of sugar on this. These don't need it for sweetness, but I like when they get like super juicy and just so good. And so that sugar really does help that process. So I didn't put very much, just enough to start kind of letting the strawberries break down a little bit.
We've also had a couple people, speaking of breaking down, a couple of people have asked about the in-kitchen composter.
Oh yeah.
And that, I think that's pretty cool, actually. It's been nice to have, obviously we have chickens, so we do throw stuff to the chickens, but it is nice when you just have like some random scraps to have somewhere to put them where you don't feel like you're wasting them.
Well, and the chickens don't eat everything. So they don't eat peels, they don't eat, there's a lot of things chickens won't eat, so that's what it's been nice for when it's things that you're not going to give the chickens.
And sometimes I would throw stuff over knowing they would likely not take interest to it, but still felt better than like throwing it away.
Yep.
We had our first harvest of it. It's pretty crazy actually how much it breaks down.
And how there literally is no smell.
Yeah. It's impressive.
Yeah, because Josh put a whole chicken thigh in there that had the bone in, and hopefully this bowl is big enough for that.
Broke it right down.
Yep. Josh can link that for you if you're interested in it.
Yeah, I don't think I have it in there yet.
I don't think it's in that one, no. But like Josh said, like coffee grounds I put in it every morning. And I do normally compost everything, but I normally have like a bowl that's sitting in my kitchen with just scraps in it. And there's something nice about having a place that it goes permanently until it goes into the ground, as opposed to, do you want maple flavor or would you rather have just powdered sugar? Okay.
I think so. Well, I don't know. I've never considered that. Maple and strawberry, I don't know. Is that something that is calling out to you as like a good idea? Because I trust your judgment on it.
No, I think you're right. I think I put too much powdered sugar in there, but that's okay. You know, those biscuits aren't looking too bad now. They've stopped melting. So that's good.
Yeah, they've puffed up now.
So I'm going to add
The timer did go off for those.
Oh, did it? Okay, yeah. I'm going to go look at them. I'll be right back. Josh, if you want to get a question. No, you don't have to, but if you want to answer questions or something.
Yeah, I was looking for a link for that composter.
Oh, the mill. Okay, I'm going to give those one more minute. They actually don't look too bad.
Ivalu asked if we have an orchard and if we still have the orchard. And yes, we do. We haven't really done anything with it though. We have, I don't know, 10 trees or something of various types. And they are fruiting right now. I see some.
Oh, there's a lot of fruit out there.
There's some fruit, but we didn't do much to like prune them back. We just had too many things going on.
And they weren't, I don't think, pruned super well, like from a young age. Some years I think they got pruned, like just looking at them. Some years they didn't. They, I think, are all planted way too close together. We're going to get a lot of fruit off of them this year, but I don't think the trees themselves are like the most healthy. But we are going to get a lot of fruit. There's a ton of plums. Did you go out there and look at the plums?
No, I haven't.
Thousands of plums.
Thousands of plums?
Yeah, remember the first year we were here?
That's simply too many plums. What can we do with those?
I don't know. So I'm going to make whipped cream. This bowl is probably not big enough. Hey, Josh. Oh, I've got one right there. I was going to ask you to get me a bowl. Oh, and I was going to tell you what I just put in there was vanilla bean. This bowl doesn't have very big sides, but that's okay. Vanilla bean. What's that stuff called?
Vanilla bean something.
It's called...
Like the extract?
Paste. Vanilla bean paste. Oh. Because I thought it'd be pretty to have the vanilla bean flecks in whipped cream. I've never put that in whipped cream before, but I thought we would do that today.
There are a lot of people saying plum jam.
Ooh, that
and
sounds
plum
good.
jelly. That does sound good.
I've made Asian plum sauce before, which I haven't made in a long time, and that's very, very good. Okay, I'm going to turn this on, so if you want to answer some questions.
Well, I did link the, it's called a mill food composter, so I did link that. And then also some people have asked about the wireless mixer that you're using, and that is also linked. It's the KitchenAid handheld something, wireless go or something. Let's see, it's the KitchenAid Go hand mixer. Do you want me to unmute? Oh, yeah.
Those actually look really good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let those cool a little bit. Okay, you can mute me again because I'm gonna mix this whipped cream up. But you can tell them, Josh, that this is really nice. I bought this because they told me to buy it, and I love it.
Becky said, you probably heard her say this, but she said that people recommended that to her, so she got it, and she really likes it. And it's definitely nice to not have a cord draping across all your food. I've never seen a mixer cord that's like clean, because who's going through? There are probably some people that go back and like clean the cord every time, but I know growing up ours was always like goopy, so to not have that is really nice. Okay, looking for other questions. I had a bunch saved and I've gone through them. Someone asked how much acreage we have. We have like 5 acres. A lot of it is unusable though, so we're on the top of a hill, so we're south facing at least, so we get good sun exposure, but a lot of the kind of down the sides of the hills are like forested and unusable, which is a good buffer.
It'll be fun for adventures.
Yes, for sure. I'm excited to build, Becky said it's fun for adventures.
Yeah, it will be fun.
Yeah. At some point I want to build out like a tree fort and stuff. I think that'll be fun to do in the future. So Sam asked if we are going to get a video of me building the coop, and yes, there will be several videos. I don't know if there's going to be like a dedicated video or if I'll just be kind of, I am filming it one for one, but they'll kind of be sprinkled throughout vlog style as well, I think.
Yeah, like in regular vlogs, there'll be, here's the update of Josh.
Yeah, and I don't intend to like sell a plan or something, so I'm not going to have like a detailed step by step, but I will show the progress, and that'll show up in some videos.
Okay, this just takes a minute, which is fine because we're just waiting for our biscuits to cool a little bit.
Do you need a pinch of salt?
Oh, I don't usually add salt to my whipped cream.
Do you want to be muted? Because I've got you muted, but you're talking. Do you want a pinch of salt?
Sure. Did you think I said that?
No, someone said pinch of salt.
I've never added it to whipped cream. We should try it.
Is that a good idea?
I think it's a good idea.
Sorry, I'm the muting while also talking. I'm not doing a great job of it, but... Someone asked if we're growing hoodberries, and I don't think we are.
I have 4 plants, I think.
Oh, you've got 4 hoodberry plants? Okay.
Oh, yeah. So the green stalks, you could talk about this, ones with strawberries.
Yeah, those are starting to fruit quite a bit, and we're pulling off. Our son was, last year, he was old enough to kind of pick the berries, but he couldn't differentiate between the very, very green, hard, not at all ripe berries and the red ones. This year he can differentiate, and he's picking off the red berries as quickly as they grow. We've had quite a few, which is nice.
Right now?
Oh, let me...
Oh.
Oops, sorry.
We're probably getting like 6 to 10 a day.
Yeah.
But that's just enough for fresh eating. Nothing is making it into the house.
No.
But it's a super fun thing because I'll bring my coffee out there and we'll just sit out there and pick strawberries. It's so fun.
All right, catching back up here. Everything needs a pinch of salt. Okay, that's good. Hopefully this works out.
Yeah.
Oh, Kelly asked what we were going to update on. I think that was the chicken coop, the chicks, and the bees. That's all that was. What's the name of Renee's channel? That's my mom's channel, and it's he said she shed. He said she shed. I should probably link it. They don't make videos as much anymore, but they do have some that they post periodically. Oh, that's good. That's very good. The vanilla? Oh, yeah. The salt is not detectable, which is a good thing, I think. Just elevated everything. Sorry, it's probably just as loud through my mic. I don't know if people are able to hear it all, but... All right, sorry, still scanning for questions. Trying to find questions that specifically I can answer. Are you done? Okay.
See the little black specks in there, but there are really pretty black little specks from the vanilla bean paste. So how do you want to do this, Josh? Do you want like one of each? What if we open 2 and I get 1/2, you get 1/2 of each?
Sure.
Then we can taste it
Sounds
that way.
good. I mean, my money is on the ones on the left. It would be interesting to just maybe try one, maybe open up one of the biscuits that kind of broke to see if it worked out.
I think they look pretty good. They definitely are way lighter and fluffier than the last biscuits I tried. Oh yeah, look at that. That looks beautiful. Oh, it smells good.
Oh yeah. Definitely smells good. I really like how milled flour and the texture too of it. Okay. We judged too quickly. That's really good.
That's so good.
I'm not sure what was oozing.
I think that was the butter.
Because if I taste just the oozing part.
It's good though because it's kind of crunchy. Mm-hmm. Because what it looked like in there is that it was starting to melt. And you can see how this biscuit, it kind of melted on the edge. And this is crunchy and delicious.
That's so good.
That is so good.
Okay, yeah, I guess half and half. For sure.
Half and half what?
Well, you said we could break open 2.
Oh, you didn't think you were going to like these?
I wasn't sure because they were all melty, so but they turned out really good.
I'm glad I tried that recipe because that's just a good old classic biscuit. Now, I definitely broke that the wrong way. When we do shortbread, we normally break them that way.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be so good.
Tina asked what I do for a living or what I do for work. Well, I do this for work.
Yep.
Now, for the last year and a half or so.
Yeah.
I was previously a director of IT for a local builder. And I was there for like 12 years. So I did a lot of stuff there, programming, and had a little department I managed. But last year I quit that and just started working here.
Yeah. So we
been a lot
have
of fun.
because you all are here, Josh and I have the honor of working together, which is something that I never thought would be a thing because I was a dental hygienist. And what were we going to do where we would have worked together? And life just happened to work that way.
I guess I could have been an IT underling that visited your dental practice or something.
Oh, that's true.
But
I wouldn't have run the practice though because I was a hygienist.
That's true. But I would have tried to talk to you. That's for sure.
Okay.
People have asked if you plan to film your quilting adventures.
I will definitely film some of it. I think what I'm going to do, because I don't know how many of you guys are going to be interested in like watching me just sit down and do the whole thing. So I think what I will probably do is just like updates on it as I haven't started it yet.
We got the fabric.
I got the fabric, but I need my quilt stuff, like my sewing machine. There's a part of the basement I've never showed you guys because when we moved in, maybe we don't have any plans this weekend, Josh.
Oh man, yay.
It's very rare that we don't have like a family dinner or some sort of birthday party or friend dinner or
good weather to do
go
stuff.
to, yeah. So anyway, there's a place in our basement where we
have a collection of accrued items
that we always planned to put upstairs when it was done, and since upstairs has been done, we haven't done it. So we need to do that. So I need to get my sewing machine out and set it up. I haven't used my sewing machine since we moved in here and stuff like that. So I definitely will show you as it progresses. So which one are you going to try first?
I'm going to try a little bit of the biscuit.
Do you want to try the white biscuit
Yeah,
before here?
Okay, yeah, I'll take just a little piece.
Because then we can taste it like side by
comparison.
side. Yeah.
That's good too.
Yeah.
Definitely good.
Both of them are good.
But
Let's go.
the fresh milled
It's more complex flavor.
It feels more wholesome too, even though I'm eating a bunch of carbs and sugar. It just feels like I'm getting more out of it.
Well,
There's a little protein, you know?
There's actually no more protein in it.
No. There's more protein. It's more justifiable. There's higher fiber.
Way higher fiber and way higher like micronutrients, like your vitamins. It has, I think out of the 45 essential nutrients, it has 41 of them. Okay, so which one are we trying first?
Let's go with the fresh milled.
Okay.
That crust really does. That's really good. You want me to mute you?
Probably.
Yeah, that's really good. Crunchy, crispy,
Soft,
sweet.
creamy. Not too sweet though. Nothing is
No.
overly sweet.
No, the strawberries too. That you just have really good strawberry flavor. It's not like sugary.
Look at this bite. And that whipped cream is probably the best whipped cream I've ever made. I think that little bit of salt in the vanilla bean paste. I just watched a reel on how to make vanilla bean paste, and I want to try making that myself, because the thing about when you make homemade vanilla bean paste is it doesn't have to sit for like 6 months like vanilla extract.
It's really tasty. Did you go with the other one?
I went with the
Sorry,
white one.
I was reading something.
I went with the...
Someone mentioned that there was something this weekend.
Oh! I guess we have something this weekend. What is it?
Well, it's Father's Day.
Oh!
The most cherished of holidays. I'm a little new to this, so it doesn't really... It's not on my calendar.
Then we have reservations. I made reservations for us. Yeah. So we do have, that's so funny. I already planned something, so it is already planned.
It just kind of came up so quickly,
Yeah.
actually.
We're going to go to a local restaurant that I've been to many times for brunch. And it is my favorite brunch place.
What was it again?
And I go with friends.
Oh, we probably shouldn't say.
Yeah. And Josh, and then we've never been there for dinner, but I've heard incredible things about their dinner. And Josh, every time I go, because I usually go there for brunch with a friend, he's always like, "Oh, you're going there?"
That sounds great. I'd love to join you sometime.
So I made reservations for us to go there for dinner.
The red bottle that she used for the whipped cream is actually heavy whipping cream.
Oh, yeah.
Someone is asking about that.
Josh just bought this at Safeway today. And that's it. So good.
That was really good and fun.
Yeah, that was really fun. I think a perfect way to I feel like it's been a long time since we've cooked live. We've been doing a lot of taste tests.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of nice just to get in the kitchen and cook something delicious. And
I'm a
now we
fan.
can even turn some of those biscuits, even though they're kind of sweet, we could probably turn them into some breakfast sandwiches or something tomorrow for breakfast.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Any more questions before we wrap up?
There's a lot
I need
of
to
questions.
move this because I'm just going to sit here and eat it.
As far as questions, I think we could cover quickly and at the end of the video. I'm not sure.
Well, we can take one that might take a little bit longer. That's fine.
Someone asked for a greenhouse update.
Oh, what?
A greenhouse update.
We don't really have one. We've just been focusing on the chicken coop. So as soon as we get the chicken coop done, that's going to be the next focus. But Josh is not going to probably be building the greenhouse, I don't think.
No.
Yeah.
Well, no, probably not.
Yeah, because
It's a little much.
it'll probably be one that's made with glass. So I don't think that's something that Josh is going to want to do.
We've also had people say that they don't see the link for the food recycler or composter. I think they call it a food recycler.
Oh, instead of
Because
a food
technically, so it is linked in there. It's called the mill food recycler, and it's in there. It's like the second link or something. And I will say the interesting thing about it is that it's not like a composter necessarily. We're using it as compost.
Yes.
But if you buy one or rent one, they have a service that picks up the food from you, and what they do with it is they turn it into chicken food,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
That is interesting.
So it's not really a composter unless you use it for compost, but that's why it's the food recycler.
Oh, okay.
Now you know.
Now I know.
And that's maybe why you were able to find it in the description, because it maybe wasn't what you were looking for. But
And you can rent them or you can buy them. This one is a rental.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they do free pickups, I believe.
If you're part of the rental.
I think either way.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting something out of it.
Yeah.
By getting the material.
Yeah, it's a byproduct. Yeah.
Yeah. Link for flour mill is maybe what they were talking about. Sorry, this is also called a mill.
The grain mill.
The grain mill,
And
it should be in there, and it is...
And it's probably sold out right now. Josh can...
I think that's the problem. I tried to link it as like the YouTube products, and it was sold out.
I think I heard that around July 9th, it's supposed to be back in stock. The reason it took me so long to buy one of these is 2 reasons. One, they're an investment. So I didn't want to spend the money on it, so I didn't buy it. And then 2, I would be like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and buy it, and then it would be out of stock. So me being ready to buy it and it being in stock had to line up at the same time. And so it just comes in and out of stock all the time. So you just kind of have to check to see if it's in stock. And I'm pretty sure I heard that around like mid-July, they were supposed to get a big shipment of them.
I just reposted the link for that. I took the description from an older live where we didn't have it, but there's technically 2 links.
Yeah.
One of them is to Amazon, which may or may not be sold out, and then the other one is directly to their website. So you can try both and see. I'm not sure. I can check right now.
I wish I had bought it earlier. I think it's, the more and more I learn about it, the more and more I think it's like an essential part of a kitchen. Like, you know, we think of a stove or an oven or, I don't know. There's something really cool about being able to mill your own flour because the flavor is delicious. You have so many different grains you can work with and flavor profiles. The biggest thing is it's an investment to buy it, and the learning curve is steep. But you can do it.
They do have other models, by the way, but those are also sold out. So maybe
I
just bookmark it.
I did see someone, and I was thinking I might buy one just to try it because they use a coffee grinder to grind wheat.
Huh.
And I thought it'd be kind of a fun thing just to
try
buy it and try.
Okay.
But
because we do have
because ours is stone ground, our coffee
well, it's
grinder.
not stone. It's metal technically, but
I think that's what this is technically too.
But what is it called?
Burr grinder.
It's a burr grinder.
Yeah.
Not like it's not chopping it. So maybe that would work in the same way.
I don't know. I bought, or I didn't buy, I got for Christmas, I don't know, Josh and I were first married. I got the KitchenAid attachment grain mill because I was interested in grinding my own grain 10 years ago when Josh and I first got married. And I used it for a while, but it doesn't create a super fine flour. And when you're learning to switch from white all-purpose super fine flour to fresh milled flour, you want that flour super, super fine so that it's easier to work with. And so I got that one because I think that one at the time, I got it for Christmas, and I think at the time it was like $79 or something like that because it was like 10 years ago. It's probably more now, but I just didn't use it a ton because I couldn't, the stuff tasted good. Remember I would make like chicken pot pie, and I
remember the biscuit on the top of the chicken.
Biscuit topping, yeah. But it was kind of grainy.
It was always a little bit more gritty, but I think,
texture.
you've learned now how to use it, and now it just turns out really well, usually.
Well, it was a different grain mill I was using.
Well, that too, but even with this one, if you didn't soak it and stuff.
That's true, I wasn't
Probably.
doing any of that. So I might be able to, with the like more skills I have now, I might be able to.
Could be. Someone commented that they think you put 2 sticks of butter in the fresh milled.
I did.
And then you did 1 stick.
I did.
That might have been what was causing the melting.
No, that I was following the recipe. This recipe calls for 4 cups of flour. This recipe called for 2 cups of flour. Oh. So the ingredients were almost doubled. That's why I was saying I probably could have cut this recipe in half. I didn't need to make this many biscuits.
Any chance you could just scoot that back a little?
Oh, yeah.
It's teetering.
Is that stressing you out?
It's giving me anxiety. Not to mention I could just see Orbit perching up there and grabbing a biscuit off the top.
Yeah. I feel like today you guys have been able to see Josh and I's personality differences.
They're a little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, friends, I just want to thank you so much for being here. I had a lot of fun. This feels like the start of summer. We're not technically at summer yet, but at least around here, the weather's starting to feel like summer, and strawberry season definitely is the first signs of summer. So I want to thank you for being here. If you want to watch some more videos, I can pop some videos here. You can go enjoy between now and the next upload. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye, friend.
Bye.